Hey guys, it's Johnny Yu. A lot of people are posting this. This means I'm sorry, Chongin. Chongin is a 16 months infant who was adopted from a religious parents. And for 8 months, she was beaten until the last of her breath by her religious adoptive parents. Eventually, she died in the hospital, and there are more shocking stories before her death, and that drove people in Korea into madness. Before she was adopted, she was bright, clever, and very healthy. And I want to emphasize very healthy. Surprisingly, before all these happenings, there were already 3 police reports of suspicious child abuse. And by saying this meant she had 3 or more chances that she could have been saved. On May 25th, the first report was from a daycare center. This was when the staff noticed she had too many scars every time she came in. The police came up to their parents and asked a few questions, and then they just closed the case. There was a second report from these parents' neighbors. This time the police began their first investigations but ended up with no charge, with nothing. And by saying nothing means just nothing. They just went home. And the third report was made from the hospital where the doctor saw her unusual bruises and scars. This time Chongin's adopted mother was not in a good conditions from plastic surgery, so her husband came out and spoke. And again, the police just closed the case by themselves. Now, if the doctors who spent time studying more than 10 years telling that these scars are not normal, then now it's up to the police who should take extra care to investigate. But no, they did not. They might have other busy stuffs like taking care of ex-criminal who just got released from the prison. I don't know. Jodusun? Who knows? And from this last report until her death, there were about 2 weeks gap to save her. And despite the chances, no policeman reached out for her. Eventually, after this case was closed, she was tortured and died from the hospital. Now, we know there are some people who commits a crime without knowing that it's not normal, and that's why there are police officers to stop them and hand them over to the court or somewhere else. And this is a sad part. Everybody knew around her what these parents were doing to this child. And since the police are gonna do nothing, who else do we report to? What does these 3 digits stand for anyways? Enough with the police and let's talk about Chongin. When she was first adopted, she was 8.9 kilograms and 8 months later she was 8.5. And you guys all know kids grow very fast and it's critical for an infant when they lose weight around these times. Right before her death, when she came into the hospital, she was not breathing and had blood bruises everywhere. And from her autopsy, the cause of her death was from a cut from her pancreas. Now, the forensic science expert says pancreas is an organ where it's located so deep inside the body that is hard to get injured from single assault. This is her x-ray and you can already see a lot of notes, and that's all her injuries right there. Multiple fractures on her ribs, dislocations on both arms, fractures on her collarbones and legs. Her intestines were ruptured and her stomach seems to be swollen a lot. This is a standard x-ray of an infant, and you guys can already tell the difference, right? Experts also mentioned that from a single assault cannot make that much damage, and if an adult steps onto her stomach while lying on the floor, the cause of her death could be possible. And what did their adoptive parents say? Oh, we dropped our baby. Now let's talk about her adoptive parents. Like I said, they were religious families and both of their parents are pastors. This adoptive mother is the type of person who likes to show off and exaggerate about her life. She also has temper issues, and obviously most of these assaults were most likely from her results, because she made about 800 videos of assaulting Chongin for 8 months. That means 100 child abuse videos for every single month. Things like choking her in the air, forcing her to stand on the elevator safety bar, and forcing her to eat extreme spicy foods when she gets hungry. And this was all recorded from her phone. And she posted a picture of Chongin and wrote, "Why is your skin tone so dark?" And I actually have the answer for that. It's called malnutrition. Imagine them doing these horrible things to an infant for 8 months who never had a chance to learn how to speak to express her feelings. If the police wouldn't listen, what can we do other than sharing the story?